What is up, guys? We are back. Brew Crew, you missed us. I know. It's only been about 22 hours, okay? So give us a little break. T-Square's in the house. Whoa, Trent, where's our logo's in the corner? My name.
Oh, got you.
I'm gone, guys. Ooh, did you see that? A bippity, a boppity, a boo. So Trent is working on that. T-Square's right here. Believe it or not, guys. Smash that like button. The golden thumb is a golden like, not down. But we want it up, please. Thank you so much. Shit. There we go. Okay, and then we got the subscribe bell. You hit it a couple times because it helps remind people that the subscribe button's in the corners. So go ahead and check out those corners for you. And, you know, we got lots of good news today. We're going to cover the Coinbase hack, and what all happened, and what to worry about. Secondly, we have XRP news. Is it bad? Is it good? We don't know. So we're diving into it together because that's what we do in the brew house. That's right. This is the brew house right here. Am I right, Trent? Can I get an yeah?
Oh, it's bad.
One. Just crack a lacking, dog. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. We'll get into it.
It doesn't matter. It matters. It matters zero.
Oh, okay if I pop my beer real fast?
Yeah.
I got one of my favorites, Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA. Runs about 6.7%. It's just a single, but you know most of my singles are twice as Trent's doubles, so we got a good pop. Ooh, yeah. No, I was wondering, you stopped out or liquidated? Because I was wondering about that today, Daniel.
It happened.
We had some Bitcoin started running and then it kind of cooled off.
Well, should I re-enter now or wait? I can't say on those assets particularly.
Not financial advice. We'll give you our perspective on what we should do.
I can't speak on those assets particularly until we look at them, and we'll do that later. But altcoins in general, I think it's not a bad time to re-enter longs on higher cap altcoins. One way to do it, I mean, this is kind of irresponsible, but you can always enter like a 2x leveraged long without a stop, as long as your liquidation price, as long as you don't believe it's going to be hit. So.
Now, Daniel, before you re-enter any trades, I'm very obligated to see this little guy right here in this corner. Check out the BitBuy link, right? Because before you enter it, dude, check out CoinM. It has good trading fees. They're reputable, easy to set up. It's a solid character, and that's where we're all going to be trading. So, yeah, Brew Crew house. Anyways, well, shoot, Trent, did you pop your beer?
Not yet. I'm wondering why our names aren't showing up.
I don't know. I don't know. You got the Caleb Brown.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, there they are. Oh,
that's why. It's when I do that.
Has it always been like that?
Probably. We just
never noticed
it right now.
Guys, live action for you.
Hey, you learn something new every day. Well,
yes, right, dude. We got the BitBuy, and we got you can't see my arm over the pretend to be my arm. It's going off the screen, Trent. Pretend. There you go. No, it's going that way. You got to point to the Caleb Brown. Yeah, and we got the Caleb Brown. I don't know if you were here, Daniel, but we actually had Mr. Jim on our show, the lead sponsorship development head. And he was lead partnerships, okay?
The head of partnerships.
There you go, the head of partnerships. He was on our show. We did a live Q&A with them.
And he said partnership boys.
Yeah, he's welcome back anytime.
We're trying to upgrade that to sponsorship boys. Right now, we just got affiliate links where, you know, hopefully one day we're big enough for people to dish out a little upfront money.
Yeah, and it makes you feel any better, too, Daniel. I got roasted on my trade. today, and I was like, though I saw an interesting setup, and I was like, hey, I want to test this out. I'll lose a little bit of money, but I want to try to have like I remember a lot better with real money than I do with paper trades. I'm like, let's play this out and see where it goes, and that's what I was risking. It was a experimentation.
Hey,
Which
I think my
after
shirt is more American than yours.
your shirt,
Yeah.
what's it say?
Blue Beacon Truck Wash 50th anniversary.
I don't know, man. MAGA AF, bro.
Go truckers.
No truckers. I think my phone case is more American than you. See my pop
Anyway.
socket?
Yeah. So for my beer, I know Tyler wants me to get a new batch in, and I'm about to on Saturday, but I'm being responsible. I got KC in the house. I gotta be responsible and finish what I have first. So I've got a few more backpacks full of cans left, and give our little ASMR pop.
What's ASMR stand for?
I don't know. Hey, Sean, you know where Red Bridge Road is?
I'm looking up Gala right now. Scouting out some Gala. Did we bottom?
I spent a lot of time over there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, I meant to do our, floral on the palette, and on the nose, floral on the nose, and on the palette, we've got a thick, viscous, creamy mouthfeel, and the flavor notes are giving some pineapple, mango, orange, unripened though, because of all the hops and alcohol, and so the hops have a little bite to it. It's not all sunshine, despite the color. Let's go.
I was gonna pull up the Coinbase article, and I totally just whiffed it.
No,
okay.
Look at that. That's fine. XRP. Looking like a good time.
XRP is always a good time. We know how to party it up. By the way, guys, I did get invited to the New York party when we won that lawsuit a year and a half ago. But anyways, unrelated to that, Coinbase. I don't know if you have the article. If not, I'm just going to go off it because I know it all off the top of my head because I had to practice it like 4 times today.
Well, before the article, I'll just let Brian himself tell us about it, and I'll present my screen. And Coinbase, share screen, and I'm going to make sure that's on the screen. Got you. There has to be a more seamless way to do that. I have to go through like 3 steps.
I know. I was trying to figure that out too. I'm pretty good at it though, but
yeah, you got better than me. All right, let's hear from Bald Brian Armstrong.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so we're going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying, no, we are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. For the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because It allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers, impersonating Coinbase customer support, and try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable, and I want to tell you what we're doing about it. So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them. There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there. Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this. But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers. For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
Word.
Cheers to Brian Armstrong.
Hey, Mr. Brian. Now, you know what they say? What's the thing that they tell you about, like Bruce Willis, like bald and badass or something like that? There you go, man. Don't mess with a guy who's in his 30s and has a shaved head, bald and badass. You know, he may look old, but he's not fragile. Okay, so Mr. Brian's gonna put the warrant out on those guys, and they're gonna bring him to justice. They have to be caught. Because one of the reasons I think this is that the fact that they know who already communicated with them and where that area is, I'm sure that puts them in like a key field of like, okay, well, it has to be in these people obviously know something about these guys. And that starts up like, you know, like a parameter that they can go off of. Like, there's only so many places you can run from there. And the nice thing is that there wasn't any private keys or seed phrases that got leaked. So bonus right there, right? And then if you're not sure it's Coinbase, contact Coinbase. You know, if you get a random phone call or a random email, really verify those emails, because I don't think they can use a Coinbase email. They could slur it just slightly and be extra tricky, but they will have some of your information. Less than 1% is what Mr. Armstrong said. So knowing that, it's not gonna be everybody, but there's a few people out there. Hey, don't be effing around with things that you don't know, right?
Yeah, you know, don't respond to. I get those texts. I don't know if anyone else does. Drop it in the chat if you've ever got one of those texts that says, you know, basically this is Coinbase reaching out to let you know that a transaction is in progress. If you didn't approve this transaction, reach out to us immediately. And they want you, it's phishing, right? They want you to panic and call them and all that. And, you know, and people in here know their stuff, and people in this chat know their stuff and probably, you know about all that already. But I've been getting those texts on the daily. That's how I know.
I get random, all sorts of stuff. I'm going to share this person's phone number because they were scammers to me, so it doesn't really matter to me, Fly. But I don't know if you can see this or not. But this is a text thread I had with this lady. Is that readable?
No, read it off. I'll type it in.
It says, "Mick, are you okay? Worried about you? Sad face? ? I respond back, I'm like, you'll be fine. Hey, excuse me, isn't this Mick number? ? I said, you got this. You good? She then responds, really? You say my number, right? ? And then I respond back with this guy running. That's why we do the scammers, man. I don't know no Mick, but I'm pretty sure you meant Mitch, because Mick is the most a Mick with an H, MCH.
Hey,
Very
bro.
non-traditional American name.
Bro, you're a scammer's worst nightmare because you'll out-talk them.
Yeah, well, this is good content. I need people to text me now, scammers. Did you ever get back to Sean? He said he knows where Red Brick Road is.
Oh yeah. I just let him know that I spent like a lot of time over there whenever I go to Kansas City. That's all.
All right, and then you want to lead into our XRP thing?
Sure. So come over here and share this tab.
Share this tab. Good on the
At the
screen.
stage.
There you go. Yeah. You're a lot better at it.
So we have a Ripple versus SEC update. Most headlines won't break down clearly. He's just hyping up his thread. He just wants you to read his thread, even though it's the same as everyone else's thread. The only difference between this guy's thread and everyone else's thread that I read today on this is he has this this nice looking graphic here of George Torres. Judge Torres, I mean.
George Torres.
Anyways, Ripple and the SEC asked the court to approve a deal while the case is still on appeal. They used Rule 62.1, which lets a judge signal how they'd rule if jurisdiction came back. Problem is, they didn't file the settlement, the agreement to settle the fine for $50 million instead of $125 million. They didn't file under Rule 60B, which is required to modify the final judgment. Judge Torres said it clearly, even if this court had jurisdiction again, the motion would still be denied, not because of the deal itself, but because the filing was procedurally improper. In other words, use the right rule or don't bother. So what now? The door is still open. Ripple and the SEC can refile using Rule 60B and argue that there are extraordinary circumstances to justify changing the ruling. It's a process issue, not a deal breaker. As pointed out, this doesn't touch Ripple's past legal wins. It's not a defeat. It's a reminder that the federal court procedure matters. The court isn't rejecting the deal. It's asking for the right filing, clear and still on course. Did this help clarify things? So, guys, the thing about this is that really the only thing this affects, yes, there is a slight technicality that it affects about an injunction that was issued, because they're agreeing to settle for $50 million instead of $125 million, and they're basically telling the court, hey, we both agreed to this, right? And the court is saying, there is an injunction that was given that you're not addressing in your filing, and that injunction was about the initial sales of XRP, right? Meaning that there were securities that were sold in the ICO, and the part of the problem is that they're agreeing. Both parties agreed to lower the fine, but they didn't technically file under the right code that would. They have to claim that the injunction is not grounded in order to do that, or they have to file under a different rule that says, hey, we're accepting the injunction, but we're lowering the fine. So they just didn't put it in the right box, in other words. At the end of the day, it matters zero, because who cares about the injunction? The initial sale is a thing of the past, and it is a matter of law and a matter of fact that secondary sales of XRP are not securities. This is well established, marked by the fact that Coinbase has been relisted XRP since 2023. Okay, so it matters zero, and Ripple doesn't want to pay $125 million. Who would? If they have to, it's no big deal to Ripple. They have the they have the cash flow to do that without any problem, without any issue. But just like a household budget, if you're gonna buy, I don't know, if you're gonna buy a, I'm just saying this because I looked at one recently. If you're gonna buy an electric scooter, at full price from a website for $1,200 when you can get it at Costco for $700, even if you're made of money, you still, you still like to get a discount, right? Because that money was hard earned, and you have
I'll be more than happy to help you pick one out because I'm very, very well versed with Costco ones and non-Costco ones.
Got you. Well, yeah, so that's all I have to say about that. What are your thoughts while I let my dogs out the door?
Well, guys, don't worry, man. Don't let this scare you out of your XRP bags. Just that's pretty it, man. Like she said, you just filed the rules wrong, so that's what they're gonna go do is fix. Now, Daniel, you still here? You were asking me about the Gala chart, and I got your BBWP chart pulled up here, and you can even give your 2 cents in on this. So, just looking at the chart off what we have going for us. Actually, I don't even have market separate. A turned on. Boop. It's off. Yes. Yeah, bro. Okay. First off, I see it's bearish to me. Double top. I mean, that literally looks like the topping of like the 2021 bull market, right? Very non-good. That's how I see that. It looks like almost, you could say a triple top, and triple tops are like screaming GTFO. Second thing
4 hour though.
This isn't the 4 hours, but yes, it's a 4 hour. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking at the daily. It's screaming GTFO. Then you got the 21. It's coming down, and I'm almost guarantee at this current trajectory, we're going to come down and cross that 50. Now, if we were coming up, I would say, and we cross the 50, that's a good sign. But the fact that it's coming down at some sort of point, it's almost like a loop like this. So I was farther away from the 50 and it came up through it. It's telling me that it's going to be bearish coming down. Now, if you go over and look at the ones, BBWP, he says the red, time to sell and get out, take your profits. You would have hit over here, right? Cool. You would have made some money, bought in down here, whatever. Bought it on this blue line. See, this is how he does it. Blue's buy, red's out, Trent. And the lines only light up when it touches the very bottom and it touches the very top. And so you could have got in right here, made your money, got out. But now, look, it's getting close to the top again, and we're coming down, okay? Just with yours, that's some sketch. If I was going to limit order in, I would probably put my first in this range right here. So between 16 and 7, or almost 18. That would be my first range for an order. Doesn't guarantee it's going to get filled. And then my second range, you'd start scrolling down, and I would start be looking, probably right here would be like second order range, then third and fourth. That's how I'd probably do that if you wanted to go ham on Gala. Nothing's guaranteed, but those are the area. I don't even have to look at the VRVPN to know where the nodes are. That's where they're at. I can tell you right now just from looking at them.
I'd put them right where the
4 hour needs to touch the bottom. It never did do that. Means it's heading back down again. Well, yeah. I mean, sure. That's what I think. I mean, when you say no, it means touch the bottom. You're talking about like a CME gap. I don't exactly see a CME gap in here, but I see a triple top, downwardness. Market Cipher is saying that we could have some upward more action, but I would be cautious with this because to me, it looks like a fake out probability. And that's what worries me.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say too, another thing.
Nesquik, what up?
What up? Though, what I was looking at.
Everybody type your favorite Nesquik into the comments. Like chocolate, strawberry, vanilla,
Was Nesquik an ice cream?
No, we've been over this. It's like
right.
it's that yellow labeled chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's right. I never had it, so I'm can't respond.
I also worry about all those Coinbase customers that got hacked. Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna say me too.
I was nervous about those customers too, but once I've read pretty quickly.
They're gonna
pretty
be
quickly.
Fine.
I'm a
Everybody's
Coinbase customer.
information is out there.
This guy right here, and I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. I'm worried about the people who are onboarded because Coinbase onboards a lot of newcomers, so that's kind of a little nervous for those guys. But it is what it is. That's the name of crypto.
I'm worried about people, panicking more than anything. That's more detrimental than anything. So. Not to the market, to their bags.
And also, too, Trent, on the 1 hour, you can see Gala actually coming up. You almost have a little bit of small divergence on Gala coming down. Probably quick pump up and then come back down. I would say,
Yeah.
What was your hit? The other one, a 1? Was it the 1?
Real quick, while you figure that out, I'm just gonna share one thing about Gala. I would put. I'm gonna answer Daniel's question about the limit orders from my perspective, but I'm also gonna say what I would do instead of that. I would put limit orders right where the EMAs are, right at the 100 EMA at about 19 cents even. And I would put a limit order at 17.85 just in case. But honestly, that's not 17. You get what I mean. What 1.7 cents. That's what I would do. Also, I want to point out on the RSI, you've got a little bit of this W pattern happening right there, which patterns on the RSI do matter. I've seen them play out. This won't play out the same way that a W pattern on the candlesticks would play out, but it's showing you that momentum is trying to catch at these levels is what it's showing you. Now, what I would do instead of worrying about limit orders is I would just simply look at another asset to trade. I would look for something where the RSI is low on the 4 hour or the daily, where the MACD is approaching the 0 line on the 4 hour or the daily, kind of like this move back here. Okay, I would hunt around, right? You got stopped out. You don't need to make your gains back on the same asset in order to feel like you recovered or got back at it. You go back, you take the opportunity to go back to the drawing board. I don't even know what the chart looks like, but just out of curiosity, I'm just going to click Cardano, see what we have going on. So, here the MACD is starting to round out on the 4 hour. It's a little bit lower and rounding out more. Let's look at near. Okay, so a lot of them are going to tell a similar story, but if you look hard enough, you're going to find one. Let's see. Ondo.
Do you trade the open, Trent?
Huh?
Do you trade the open?
What do you mean?
That's what our Mr. Friend in the chat wants to know.
Oh, well, you mean the opening of the next candle? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I have to wait for the candle to close above a certain level for confirmation. If you mean the market open, then of course, the market stays open in crypto. But hey, You know, so I would hunt around before you decide to go back into that. Right here on Ondo, we've gotten closer to the 200, which seems like a better bounce to me. Like, Gala, in theory, for whatever reason, could go back to that 200, and there's less space between it. I don't know. I mean, let's look at ACASH.
Gosh.
Okay, so you know you're a little lower on the RSI here. Yeah, I'm just willing to bet if you hunted around enough, you'd find one of them that's already on its way back up. But you know, on Gala, if you want to go back in on Gala, my answer is either set limit orders at the 100 and the 200 EMA, or just simply wait for the 1 minute to get above the 200 EMA. Right? You wait for the. I'll go back to Gala and show it. So your options are hunt for another asset. A, B, wait for the 1 minute to get above the 200 EMA, which okay, right now it is above the 200 EMA, and that happened about a couple hours ago. So you could have taken that when it did, and then got made that move. So I'll go to the 5 minute, which would be your next level. So on the 5 minute, it is not above the 200 EMA, the red line here at 0.02025. So either A, hunt for another asset, B, set limit orders on the, let's say on the 4 hour at the 100 and 200, or wait for confirmation when you crack the 200 here on the 5 minute. And if you want to be even more careful, let it crack the 200 and then let the 21 cross the 200 on the 5 minute chart and then get in. So, because that's going to be the start of a bigger cascading move to the upside. So, you know, those are my thoughts about that.
All right. Well, now I'm going to go back to the one.
Yeah.
Also, I was looking at ETH. Do you guys think ETH is getting ready to pump?
Heck yeah.
I'm only saying because like the 1 hour looks like it has open doors, strength coming up, and we're saying that we are overbought, so we can still keep going. And the VWAP's over the zero line by a pretty good margin, with the blue oscillator waves doing well. And then the 4 hour, it looks like we are creating a trigger wave. Strength coming down, saying we're oversold, but whatever. And we have a good money flow coming in, and we have the VWAP curving up to the upside. It's not like, it doesn't really look super sharp, but I guess we will wait and see. Stupid fly, it's bothering me. One. You know, the funny thing is, you asked me about Gala and one. So this is the one chart on the 4 hour trend. Okay, you looking at it?
Yeah.
This is Gala. Are you trying to tell me to look at the same chart? Because this is pretty dang similar. And I'm not gonna lie, I think the one will even agree with me on this is that I'm probably gonna give you the same exact answer that I gave you on Gala. You know, maybe slightly different. Triple top, 21's coming dang near the 50 on the 4 hour. Look, we have a green dot down here. Okay, sure. And the VWAP's coming up, and we have money flow coming down. I would be nervous with a fake out potential. That's what I would have nervous, because this looks like we have strength, we still have strength, we still have the strength. Trend getting a little wary. Boom, trend's changing now. Now that's how I would view. I think there's a trend reversal coming, and you look at the green wave; it's slowly coming down. And it's probably going to slowly come down as the whole thing comes down. I could be wrong. You know, things could change. But it is... I would be a little anxious about it. You know, on the 1 hour, we have a little bit of pumpamentals coming in right now. Which this could be the fake out. So it's kind of a little risky. We might even pump up a little bit more, you know. Just the 4 hour, we're in a little bit of, I would not trade these coins because if you get mixed signals, it's something that you don't want to trade. You want to get those confirmations. You know, you could set some limit orders in down here, but what if we fake out, we dip down, and you're like, sweet, I'm in the trade, we come back up, another fake out, we dip back down here, and now you're going, F, I'm down low, this sucks, why did I do that? And we get one more, and comes up, and it really pushes towards this bottom node right here, and you're going, oh, I'm dying. You know, if you wanted to put a trade in on this bottom node, or this one right here, those would be a lot more risky, I feel like, to get entry on. You might not get filled, but if you did get filled, you'd have more profit to take. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you hit like a medium level, you could go down more before you even decide if you want to come back up. So if you go after the target, the next node, the risk versus reward, risk is getting, or reward's doubling, and you're risking that you might not get into the trade. So it's kind of one of those things. What's your tolerance level at, and what do you do best with trading? You know what I mean. So that's how I'd probably view this scenario, because the direction's a little indecisive at the moment. I actually shrank the BBW down.
Do you guys trade futures? He asked. Not in the sense of like option calls and puts.
I'm probably gonna get into it. I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't gathered my wits on it. You know, I have one call for futures. One. Well, actually, maybe two with MicroStrategy. But the one that CryptoFace pushes really hard, and he says everybody's going to regret not getting in now, is Planetar. I'll spell it for you guys in the chat too, because it took me a minute to figure out. And now also, it's really interesting about Planetar, Trent. I was watching Trump on TikTok last night in Saudi Arabia, and the CEO of Planetar went with him to Saudi Arabia and was meeting the prince too. And what's really funny about Planetar, maybe because I don't do futures, is that I was like, I've never really heard of this company until CryptoFace. This guy's literally traveling Trump and Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and they were going to meet like all these high people because it's all tech companies, right? And I'm like, wow, this is a real interesting concept, and it wasn't available on Robinhood.
Yeah,
and Planetar was super hot and had a nice correction, so this could be a good time to get in.
I'm not sure where retail even can put in, option calls and stuff like that. But, some exchanges will call their leverage accounts futures, and some will call them margin. It just depends on what exchange you're on. But yeah, on BidFi, BYDFi is technically the name. Build Your Dream Finance. They have USDT-M futures, which is just leverage trading that's settled in USDT. And then they have Coin-M futures, where the trade is settled in the coin that you're trading, but you only have like a few options for that. It's really just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So you have a limited pool to access there, but if you do choose one of those, you take your prop. For example, I'm in an XRP trade on Coin-M futures on BidFi, where when we were at like $2.58, any swing longs open, bro? Yeah, I'll show you.
I had one. My only successful trade I did today. I did another V-Chain one, and I closed it at 2% gains after like 29% loss today. So it's gonna have coming back today. But in my defense, I actually opened up a 20x leverage trade instead of a 10x, and then I was testing a new strategy out, and I was kind of hoping it would work, and it didn't. So there you have it. I actually think it is going to work out next time, because what I was thinking about doing is like on these trades right here, we get these fake outs, right? So I was thinking if we come down, we get like a little pump up to like, right here, we get the green, everyone thinks the bull runs on, and that's where you put the short in, and then you leg down. Then you get that pump up, you put that short in, and you leg down. The same thing goes with like a bull run. You kind of you run up, you collect your money. Instead of longing it from right here, you could make money. You wait for the fake out. Oh, it's over. And then you put your long, and then boom, you run back up. Oh, it's over. You take your money. You catch that fake out. Boom, you take your money. Woo, it's on. And you kind of keep doing that till you notice like you get several red candles in a row. Then you go, okay, now it's over. You will lose that trade. But if you could catch the fake outs, you could literally run it all the way up and continue to trade all the way up. And that was my practice strategy today.
Daniel said any swing longs open. Yeah, I'm in I have an open long on XRP, CoinM futures on BidFi, and that's up 2,000 XRP in profit. Not 2,000 USDT, but 2,000 XRP in profit. When the price was up at like 258, I was like 3,000 XRP in profit. But this is one that I'm holding on to for a bit, so I don't mind that. And USDTM futures, I'm almost $2,000 in profit on ADA, and almost I'm like almost $800 in profit on Ondo over here, which we're both up quite a bit more in the last week, of course. But again, I have great entries on these, and I'm looking at some higher points to take profit. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
I was thinking about possibly putting a long in on XRP. That's one of the ones I would consider doing. But the problem is it's still kind of like in that fake out territory. But it looks like the nicest. Oh, you didn't put me back up, Trent. It looks like the nicest. So the problem is right now we're in that downtrend. So we get, you could, if you want to apply that new rule, which I'm still trying to understand, so it's hard for me to apply it right now. But you get that we do clearly want an uptrend. We break that uptrend. We change the pattern. Well, then you get that fake up, and if you would have put the short in right here, you could have came down, could have closed it if you wanted to, turn some money, or you could have left it open, came back up, or a second fake out, put that short in, and you could have just wrote that sucker down, get a fake out, put your short in, fake out, because you keep doing it while you're waiting for the trend reversal. This one, you would have put your long in, or maybe you would did a fake out, you kept your short open, wrote that all the way down, and then kind of watched it kind of come up for that fake out because you weren't sure how deep it was going to go. So you're kind of watching the VWAP wave to curve back down. Could have put your short in, right? And you could have rolled that all the way down. The question is this another fake out, or is this a pattern reversal? And what signs do we have? And on the 30-minute, it looks like to me that the pattern has not broken yet. And it's possible we have, but BBWP says we're going to go down, which I'm not too familiar with this one. I'm trying to get that comment. And then the VWAP is curving up slightly, but it's not really a sharp curve, but the strength is kind of curving up, and the strength kind of curving up. But it could come crashing down. I'm leaning towards this being a fake out, just because I'm not seeing screaming strength, and I'd have to look at Bitcoin to double check. Is Bitcoin breaking out?
We have Eyes to See asking, is Bitcoin breaking out? What y'all think? Yeah, first of all, thanks for being on here. Thanks for your comment. If you're new here, I just want to encourage you, if you subscribe to the channel, it will touch T-Square right in his heart. If you're already here and you're already subscribed, my apologies.
I think he's been here before, I think.
Okay. Well,
Bitcoin could be breaking out. Oh, sorry. You go and look at it, Trent.
Yeah, you're good. Where'd I go? Oh, okay. Over here. So, over here on the 5-minute chart, am I up? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
On the 5-minute chart, we cracked the 200 EMA back here. And
cracking means
we got above it. Back here at 1029. So that was earlier today at, let's just say 5-6 hours ago. I don't know how many 5-minute candles that is. So yeah, I mean, on the smaller time frames, that's definitely a breakout. If we go to the 1 hour, yeah, we're above the 21 EMA. We're above the point of control. The Bollinger Bands, the red band is pushing up, and those are all great signs. On the not to mention the MACD crossed the 0 line on the 4 hour, right back here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours ago. The MACD crossed the 0 line. We're in good shape there. We're not overbought on the RSI. We have plenty of room to move up. And on the 4 hour, we're above the 21 EMA. Great to see. A bullish cross on the RSI. And we're about to get a bullish cross on the MACD on the 4 hour chart. So I'm feeling good about going into the weekend, even if we wait till Monday or so for a big move. I do think it's coming. The MACD shows that it's coming. And we're above the 21 EMA. I mean, this has been a great move. We have a bit of a double bottom right here on the 4 hour. Which is the inverse of what we're seeing on those alts that we were looking at. We have a double bottom here versus double top on those altcoins. And the reason why is really simple. BTC.D, Bitcoin dominance, is having a bounce. That's the really simple reason why. We have a rounded bottom right here on the MACD. Bitcoin dominance is bouncing back to the top of this channel, at least. I mean, it may break above it again. Bitcoin dominance is fighting until its last breath. We have to realize that when we get a move like this on Bitcoin dominance, it's gonna fight for its life until it can't fight anymore, right? And that's just what it is. That's why I'm gonna tell you why I'm very bullish today from a fundamental perspective. We have news of a Coinbase hack, right, quote unquote, and we have news of, hey, Judge Torres has blocked the fine settlement in the Ripple case. And even the altcoins are only down, like they're still up from several weeks ago. Look at my swing trades that I showed.
Hey.
I'm several $1,000s in profit on all of those positions. On a red day when we have quote unquote bearish news. One of the biggest signs of a bull market is that quote unquote bearish news only gives you a little cool off, right? Not only that, this quote unquote bearish news, all it is an opportunity for Bitcoin dominance to get a little bounce. And the last thing I'll say is coming over here to this tweet, which I thought was important to share today. Is that up? Yeah. So what we have here, he says, now this is the clearest bull setup in my 7 years in crypto. Bitcoin near all-time high, retail interest near all-time high. ETH against Bitcoin broke a 3-year downtrend. Altcoin index bounced off of the range lows. Each factor sparked altcoin season before. Now they all align. So he has a massive thread here, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but all I'm going to say is that, guys, we are gearing up for a 8-week long and then a cool off. I don't know. I don't know I don't know if it's going to be 8 weeks long and then a cool off. I don't know if it's going to last, and then another high in Q4. Or perhaps we're just going to grind higher until Q4 with some 10, 20% dips along the way. We'll have to wait and see. But we are gearing up for the post-halving year run as we've always known it in the past. And what I mean by that is Bitcoin dominance. We have Ethereum season for a little while. It may just last weeks. And what I mean, I don't mean Ethereum won't keep going up. I just mean Ethereum outperforming the rest of the market. That phase is going to last several weeks. Ethereum will outperform the rest of the market because liquidity will flow from Bitcoin into Ethereum, then into the higher cap altcoins, and then finally into the micro caps, into the much smaller altcoins. And that's a pattern that plays out every post-halving year, and we are on the verge of seeing it right now. Ethereum has broken a 3-year downtrend against Bitcoin. Ethereum is about to show that it's done getting beat up by Bitcoin. Now, it's only going to put up a fight for, a few weeks. But during those few weeks, let me tell you, it's going to put up a hell of a fight. Mm-hmm. And I would almost rather be long. If I was going to swing long anything else right now, I would get into Ethereum before anything else, just because it's going to... I'm not saying it's going to outperform every coin. I'm just saying it's going to have its spotlight. And it's going to have it very soon. And the good thing about that is that the predictability of this run is intact, in my opinion. The predictability of a falling Bitcoin dominance with a rising Ethereum dominance, followed by the true alt season that we've been waiting for and haven't had yet. All of that is coming down the pipe, and it's coming now, in my opinion. So, yeah. But all you have to do is go back and look at the double bottom that we were looking at on Gala and those other, or the double top we were looking at Gala and those other coins, and then go and look at the double bottom that we had here on Bitcoin on the 4-hour, because those charts are doing the exact opposite things, and that's because Bitcoin dominance is bouncing. So there we go.
Where you were going, Trent, I just want to let you know that I put a trade in and closed it on Aptos on a long, and I scalped it for 2%, so I was pretty happy. I looked at Bitcoin, I looked at Aptos, and that was the most down. I was like, I'm putting a quick trade in on here. I was thinking about trying to put a quick scout in on with, but I decided against my better judgment.
To plug real quick to Crypto Analyzer Pro. The other day we put in an
you
AI.
You should use that right now, yeah.
I'm about to. The other day we put in an AI generated setup on Bitcoin. We entered our preferences, and then we did exactly what AI told us to do, and it had us getting into a trade on Bitcoin, 9x long. This is on a demo account, but 9x long at $101,897. And we're $200 in profit right now, $206 in profit. So Crypto Analyzer Pro, if you haven't heard us talk about it already, it is an AI market analyzer, and you can come over here to AI analysis. It's much more than that, actually. It's a news aggregator. It pulls API from CoinMarketCap, so you can see the market overview at a glance. But right here, you can upload a picture of your chart. You can give it all of your preferences. You can write some additional notes for it, and then it will analyze a chart for you and give you some setups. So if you guys want to drop in the chat what coin you want to see, maybe we can run one before the show is over. Any insights on marinade? I don't know much about it.
Hey Trent, next time you do that, you gotta remember to put it on the screen.
You can put it up for me. Sorry, I was distracted.
I didn't realize that. I thought you were just gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, right here, like I was saying, you set your preferences, write your stuff in your notes in the comments for it, and it'll give you a trade setup. So we can do one before the show's over. Which one do you want to see, Tyler?
I want to see an undo. Do we have an undo in already or no?
We do. I actually.
They do sweet.
Sweet. Okay. Let's see.
Sweet's always a good one. I feel like undo and sweet are really popular right now. Good.
1 hour, 4 hour.
Let's do 4.
All right.
4 hours seems pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that scalp trade.
So what I'm going to do, the first step to this is I'm going to get a snapshot of my chart. And I could do it right there on the tool, but I'm gonna give a snapshot of my own chart with my settings on it. So I'm just gonna download that image, and I'm gonna come over here, select file. Oh wait, share this tab instead.
I heard this thing that George did today. He went to ChatGPT and it said, ChatGPT, use the top 10 indicators and give me a 2-week outlook on Bitcoin using all 10 indicators at the same time.
So I'm going to upload my sweet chart on the 4 hour. I'm going to risk appetite. I'm going to say aggressive. Time frame. I'm going to say, let's say short term. And then trading style. Let's say scalping. Because we haven't done that one yet. And then I want to get a trend analysis, Bollinger Bands, head and shoulders, patterns, RSI, trend channels, support and resistance, moving averages, MACD, and volume profile. So I just left out Fibonacci and Elliott Wave just because I don't use them much myself, so yeah. I'm not going to make the AI use them. So I'm going to say that I'm okay with with setting a stop loss at. Well, I'm not going to say that. Let's just say I want the best scalp setup to take profit within the next half hour. I want specific numbers to enter at. Please do not just give me nice round numbers. Because it likes to do that. It has a habit of telling you $102,500 on the dot. I'm like, stop giving me nice round numbers.
What's Bitcoin going to be in 10 years? 500K.
Yeah. Right.
I could have said that.
Yeah.
Dude,
please do not just give me nice round numbers. And I'm okay with losing 5% on this trade, so you can factor that into the stop loss. Guys, this tool is free for the next 18 days. So it costs nothing to to just get this in your arsenal. If you get in during the next 18 days, your account stays free. After that, Greg is gonna, I don't think he's set on the number officially, but he'll be charging about $9.99 for it. Your account will stay free if you get in now, so why not? Analyze chart. Oh, you know what? I had technical analysis clicked. I actually want this, but it's okay. It's gonna analyze it, and I'll have to run it again.
Your BTC chart with AI. So
It
it should say BTC.
It says Bitcoin, but it's actually the SWE chart that I entered, but that's okay. I'll fix it. I'll fix it for right now.
Why did it trick us, Trent?
That was my fault. Okay, so I actually kind of have to go to the right one and then
do it.
Trade set up.
Do you have to re-enter everything or no?
Kind of, but that's okay. I won't talk while I do it. I'll just do it. You can talk while I do it.
Guys, I think HBAR might be freaking breaking out. Maybe not. Maybe it's a fake out. But the VWAP's still coming up on the 1 hour. You have the green wave curving up. You got the strength curving up on Market Cipher. You have larger green candles. Blue oscillating wave flip bullish on the 1 hour. The 24 minutes says we still have time to go. Red wave is shrinking. VWAP is slightly curving down. We're also at key support too, so it's like, is it possible? I don't know. You guys tell me. I think it's possible we could be breaking out right now. Just closed a few more pennies, up slightly more on my trades. I'm like, let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Everybody loved making money. Oh yeah, Trent, we really gotta get a trailer of us using this at the beginning so we can play it during the show.
We're gonna do that when we interview Greg about it, because then we're gonna use clips of those interviews, a different part of the thing each day, and then we'll just play that as a pre-show.
When is that? Are we gonna work that out with Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have an idea?
No, not yet. I do not just want nice round numbers. I'm okay. Using.
You're going crazy
on this trade, so
crazy.
Factor that into your.
Excuse me, guys. I'm just checking for different trade setups. Algo might be a possibility of one.
All right, now we're analyzing.
And we're analyzing. Look for them red candles.
And link to this is in the description. It's cryptoanalyzerpro.com. And
looks like Dominance is falling again too.
So option number one, what's SWE at right now? 3.91. 391. So it's giving me an entry, its first suggestion, which is always going to be the most aggressive from what I've seen. It's giving me 392 with a stop loss at 378 and a take profit at 420. I'm trying to scalp though. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to get to 420 in the next half hour, which I was trying to tell it, but that's fine. You know what? That's unfair though, because I did put the 4-hour chart up. So I'm giving it mixed signals. So that was my fault in these additional notes. If I wanted to take profit in the next half hour, I should have given it the 1-minute chart. So that's my fault. But based on this 4-hour chart, it's entering at 392, with a take profit at 420. You could also enter at 385. The rationale on that one is enter on a pullback to the moving average support. The target is set at the recent high. So, you know, there you go. It gives you the rationale for these. And then at the end, it gives you a little market overview and says SWE is currently trading sideways with a slight upward pressure. The chart shows consolidation around the $3.90 level, with the price testing resistance near $4. The RSI is neutral and the MACD indicates potential upward momentum. Volume profile shows significant interest around the current price levels. So the thing is, like, you do your own research, upload it to this and see if A, it's confirming your research, or B, it's showing you something that that you didn't catch. So guys, I mean, I think this is pretty cool. Sometimes I've done several of them where it will show me, hey, based on the current market conditions, long setups are more likely to play out. Or based on the current conditions, short setups are more likely to play out. So it'll tell you that too. Right now, it's telling you that you're buying consolidation. And that's pretty interesting because it didn't tell me necessarily that long or short setups are better. So, yeah. There we go.
Not bad.
Well, is it about that time? Unless you found any.
No, I think it's about that time.
Yeah.
Tired. Yeah. Guys, whenever you're in the town or in Seattle area, check out Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA. 6.8%, and it's a great company. Good brew. We'll never be disappointed. You can try them all. I'm sure even Trent, who likes his 3s and 2 hops, would appreciate some good brew once in a while. So there you go.
And I had backpack full of cans. It was a double dry hop, triple IPA coming in at 10% even. And I've rated this consistently on the show an 8.6. It's the highest rating I've given on the show. The next highest rating was a bourbon barrel-aged stout by Bottle Logic called Fundamental Observation. And it's a barrel-aged stout with Madagascar vanilla beans, and I gave that an 8.4. So
that sounds pretty good too. Madagascar vanilla beans. But anyways, guys, thank you for coming to the show. Hey, what's up, Blunt Man? Hey, he ever had that dank IPA? Oh, dude. I had to look that up because I was drinking that before work, and then they had drug testing at work. I was like, do they really put this in here? Because I'm like, it really tastes like they do.
He's not going to show up on that.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta double check this, man. But anyways, Blunt Man, you just got in. You gotta get in here early before we sign off, dude. I saw your content.
Good to have you, though. Thanks for the support.
Yes. I just want to say, anyways, thank you guys for showing up. Sorry, we're tired. It's the evening show. We gotta go cover all the news stories and crypto analyzers and our sponsors and all this awesome stuff. And we really appreciate everything you do. You can't do stout. Well, it's good news. It's not stout. It's always a great time here, guys, and we love you showing up. You keep the comments coming. You keep us preoccupied in all of our different things we look at and research and coins and perspectives, and we really like sharing the ideas and bouncing off you guys. So thank you for making the show, because otherwise it'd just be me and Trent talking. I do that all the time on the phone. So we really appreciate you guys being part of the brew crew. Trent, you got anything to add?
No, just all of that, you know. Any good community is the sum of its members, right? So thank you guys for being here, and thank you for adding value in the chat.
Yeah, we always like putting effort in for you guys too. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific Northwestern time. All right, we're out. Deuces.